What up, YouTube? That one guy Jay here, and it's Stoner Story Time. This one's going to be about my time spent in Antelope, Oregon. I lived there for about a year or so. Interesting town, if you don't know. Look up the Rajneeshis. Crazy cult that took over the town and did all kinds of crazy shit, including poisoning salad bars in the Dalles, and to try to sway the county elections, all kinds of crazy stuff. It's pretty twisted what they did. In fact, a lot of the residents that are still there, that were there then, are still scared that they're going to come back. I've heard some pretty crazy stories. Most of them I don't really believe, but there must be some truth to them, you know. It's very well known. I mean, there's been documentaries done on it. In fact, OPB did an awesome one that they have available online, I believe. I don't remember if it's on YouTube or on their website, but it's a great little documentary. But okay, so this was a few years ago, probably 2 years ago now, a little over 2 years ago. My fiance at the time and I were looking for a new place. We were living in Redmond at the time, and we kind of wanted to get out in the country a little bit. Weren't having any luck finding really much of anything, and a 30-day notice was up in the the apartment that we were in, and we wanted to get into a house. The only thing that came up was this house in Antelope, which is, let's see, it's about 45 or 50 miles from Redmond and 35 miles from Madras, which is the nearest town, the nearest decent-sized town. There was a little store in a town about 6 miles to the north, but they had outrageous prices on everything, so we didn't really do too much shopping there. It was kind of, you go in there just to go chat with the locals and stuff, maybe pick up a hot dog or whatever. But anyway, so we moved to this town of Antelope. When we moved there was 43 people that lived there. We made 45, and we were the youngest people in town. Kind of crazy. There's no like store or anything like that. There was a little cafe that was open. It opened, I guess, right a few months before we moved there. We ended up working there. I was the breakfast cook, and my fiance was the waitress and server, everything else. It was just more of like a charity. We didn't even get paid. We just got paid tips, and we got free food, which was cool. Having whatever we wanted to eat whenever we wanted it, pretty much. That was pretty cool. But the house we lived in was built in I think 1879, I think, is when it was built. It was a stagecoach stop in the town of Antelope, which used to be on the trade route for sheep wool, and there was a big sheep wool community in the area. It used to be a stagecoach stop, and it used to be one of the first post office in town. And I don't know, any of you that know like Oregon history, Howard Maupin used to live there. He ran the post office, and I believe he lived there when he scalped Chief Polina, and he stuck Chief Polina's scalp on the barn next door. And so Chief Polina, or the Paiute, or the Polina Indians or whatever, they put a curse on the entire town, so the entire town's supposedly cursed. And if you go there, it's not surprising. The whole entire town is just, I mean, it's beautiful and old, and I mean, it was wonderful, my time spent. I loved living there, but it's just really sad. It's like almost a place where people go to die. Mostly older people, and just in the year that I lived there, numerous people died, and numerous people got sick and died, including the guy, the owner of the cafe. I think he was like almost 50, maybe 50, low 50s. He had back problems and stuff like that, and he just up and all of a sudden got really sick, and they tried to fly him out by helicopter to the hospital in Bend, and he died before he even got to the hospital. It was pretty crazy. But I was on the fire department out there, which was really cool. We got to do some fun training and stuff like that. Only had a few actual calls. I got to do a little wildland firefighting, which was awesome. Um, there was an awesome little cemetery that my fiance and we actually ended up getting married while I lived there. So at the time we were fixing it up. She was my wife, but we'd take our dogs out running to the cemetery, and because it was one of the only really fenced-in areas where crazy wild puppies could run, and so nobody had taken care of the cemetery. No maintenance has been done in years. There's only been a few people buried, even within the last probably 20 years, probably maybe a handful. So we went in and we cleaned it up, cut down a bunch of brush, and just cleaned it up, made it more presentable. It was pretty fun. There's a lot of ghost stories in the area. There's a lot of agates, lots of geodes and thunder eggs and all that kind of stuff. The John Day River is only 15 minutes to the east. Great little spot to go fishing for catfish and smallmouth bass, steelhead, some trout even up a little bit further. You got the the John Day Fossil Beds National Monument. They're all pretty close. Really cool area. You guys should go check it out. I hear the cafe is back open again. Don't know about the food. Haven't been through there in a while. Great little town. I loved it. Hopefully someday I'm going to end up moving back there. It was really cool. Hopefully not to die, though. I just want to bring some cheer to the town, Maybe open up a fucking legal weed store if they legalize that shit. That'd be freaking cool. But anyways, Ellie, come here. Ellie, come here. So, took on a new member of the family recently. Come here, Ellie. Come on. Come on up. Up. Come on. This is Ellie. She is, I think, 5 or 5.5. And she is, Jack Russell Terrier. And she's the most mellow Jack Russell Terrier that I've ever seen by far. She's a rescue dog. She was never beat or anything like that, but she spent her first 2 years of her life at a breeder's, stuck in a crate. So she never really learned how to play or do anything like that. And then after that, she went to a friend of mine's uncle, my girlfriend's uncle, and he died 7 months ago, and she's just been kind of outside in her little run ever since then. And she had fleas real bad, and she's been chewing on her butt a little bit, so we got some stuff for that. We're gonna get her some flea stuff, but I think I'm gonna end up keeping her because she's just such a sweet little dog. Her name's Ellie. She's really timid, not really very confident. I'm hoping to change that a little bit. I want to take her fishing and camping, and I tried to get her to climb up on some rocks with me, but she wasn't having it. We'll see. Well, anyways, it's been great talking to you. Like, subscribe, whatever. Might do some more of these here in the future. Peace out.